To
Sure.
introduce Dr. Sabahat, I must say that he's a wonderful mix of a physician, a social entrepreneur, and also an expert in the administrative services. So he's had a remarkable journey in his life, and it will take a long time to really, read all his achievements that there are. But the most striking of them is that he has won the Social Entrepreneur of the Year award at the World Economic Forum's Schwab Foundation, and also the public appreciation for being having an innovative solution at the UN Innovation at the Health Innovation Exchange 2020. He has a chain of 12 hospitals and more than 250 digital dispensaries, and works with telemedicine network across Bihar, UP, Orissa, Rajasthan, Gujarat, West Bengal, and other countries. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Sabahat to hear from your journey and what you do through telemedicine. I mean, you have so much of the world connected through your solutions. Dr. Sabahat, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uma. A pleasure and an honor to be here. And thank you, Sam, for sending me the invite. Let me do one thing, especially it's very difficult to hear people one after the other. So let me try and make a break and instead go on a video so that we start from a video. It'd be a little bit interesting to see what is happening today. So I will begin from a view of one of our innovations, which is the Hello Life CX digital dispensary. So this is an application of telemedicine, which is been out since COVID, and it is essentially like a prefabricated clinic that can be set up anywhere in 8 hours of time. And it uses a host of technologies like telemedicine, ultraviolet sterilization, Internet of Things, point of care technologies, automation, and artificial intelligence, and it can be run by a nurse. It's a prefab double-walled kiosk with a 3-stage air purification with positive air pressure sensors inside, divided into two chambers for the nurse and the patient. A doctor doesn't need to be there. Patient enters by sterilizing or disinfecting his hands, and before every patient enters, there is a 10-minute sterilization or disinfection of the chamber by using UVC lights. You actually don't need this PPE here. It's a little bit of an overkill in this video. The patient is registered by the nurse, and then the vitals of the patient are taken electronically: height, weight, blood pressure, temperature, ECG, SpO2, whatever is required, which is all live. And then the nurse connects to the doctor. The doctor can actually not only see and talk to the patient, but can also examine the patient. And there's a digital stethoscope, otoscope, rhinoscope, laryngoscope, dermoscope, fetal Doppler. And as need arises, you can add more and more IoT devices for the doctor to be able to examine the patient. This is a dermoscope that you're seeing right now. And once the all the earlier records or manual records of films of ultrasound and all, they are uploaded to the doctor. Those tests that are not done in the clinic, samples can be collected, but most of the tests can be actually done in this clinic itself. And they are uploaded, for example, liver function test, kidney function tests, enzymes, proteins, electrolytes, hematology, biochemistry, immunology, all of them are done, and the results are uploaded so that the doctor can finalize the prescription after seeing the test results. The prescription is given to the patient, and the medicines are also automatically dispensed. So there is temperature maintained dispensers inside. And behind all of this is an AI-based system, which is at the doctor's end, which gives diagnosis, helps, and gives analytics for everything, and can be seen. So making healthcare a reality for telemedicine is actually telemedicine. Most of people have come to know because of COVID. But really speaking, if you think about it, in a population of 7.7 billion, those old physical commutings and going to a doctor is not really any longer possible. 28% of the people in the world have no access to a doctor. The cost of healthcare is impoverishing about 3% of the population on an annual basis. Medical errors are the third commonest cause of preventable death. And I'm talking especially of primary care, which has been broken into three verticals of a clinic, lab, and a pharmacy. So making healthcare simple, what we are doing here is reduce the errors and skills needed through artificial intelligence, eliminate managerial overheads through real-time data, bridge geographical gaps through telemedicine, upgrade primary care through automation, integrate clinic, lab, and pharmacy under one roof, lower the time required by using point of care devices, and miniaturize to bring in lower footprint to reduce capital costs and operating costs. As Dr. Omar said, I have been honored recently by World Economic Forum Shaw Foundation, but we have partnered with global organizations, governments. So we have the primary care in DRC, in Mali, UNAIDS in its recent health innovation exchange announced this Hello Life Digital Dispensary as a most advanced innovation to meet the sustainable development goals. So on the telemedicine side, if you look at it, three things: apps, then there are digital dispensaries that can be set up anywhere in a physical location. And with COVID and innovation of the same, which brings in sterilization, separation, and positive air pressure is the third thing that we do. So you could actually access telemedicine through a app. Litmus DX is a semantic algorithm-based clinical decision support system that allows doctors to check for differential diagnosis, to see for what is the recommended protocol, drug safety. Litmus MX is the machine which allows investigations and investigations to be done at the same time, automated medicine dispensers, and then Hello Life CX, which is the prefab clinic. This is what a digital dispensary looks like in the pre-COVID form. It's a small place, could be set up in a rural area, in a urban area, in a small one shop or a two shop scenario. Patients come in, they have a small waiting area, they connect to the doctor on the video, tests are done through IoT devices and medicines are dispensed. Behind it is a network operating center. Doctors could be anywhere in the world for that matter, depending on legal issues where you can use, and the CRM for outcome management. This is a view of the equipment that we have pioneered and is used in the centers. In Africa, we are actually doing larger prefab clinics, which are bigger, 500 to 1,000 square foot, which also have a small minor hospitalization part. And this is the clinic and digital dispensary. There is another thing which we're working right now is using medical drones for immediate response and recovery. But that has been because of COVID pushed to a March of 2021. And I will skip all this data and all, because those that are interested, we can actually talk about it much later. But essentially, what telemedicine is doing across the world today is that not only are you able to deliver healthcare immediately, it is a far better quality than what you do manually. You can see the analytics of what diseases are happening where in real-time purposes. So in terms of epidemiology, in terms of decisions, in terms of actionable analytics, it is much better. We have treated over 1.5 million patients from India, Philippines to Tanzania, and it is scaling to, we are now in 8 countries and scaling to another 5, 6 more, hopefully this year. The important thing is it's also been able to bring down the cost of healthcare to less than $5 for each primary care episode, including consultation, examination, investigation, and medication. And we think that just to try and sum up, telemedicine is not about just connecting patients from one place to another. It is about better, more efficient healthcare, which uses intelligence, knowledge, data, analytics to ensure that errors are not made and continuity of care is maintained. And I think that the challenges which we will face will be because of the cognitive inertia. We as doctors have a lot of cognitive inertia. Let's accept it. 20 years of studying in a medical college and practicing early makes it very difficult to change our habits and practices. That's a challenge which we will have to face. And it is upon us to actually either adapt or perish. And I don't think that we can just keep sitting on how the world was before, because the world is getting connected. And our cognitive inertia has to be met by ourselves. Nobody else is going to do it. But if we do not be there, we will not survive for the next century. I think I'll try and close it here because we are running out of time. Thank you so much. We're happy to take questions anytime.